Welcome back to FACEIT TV, guys. I'm DDK, joined by Thorin, and we are commencing our coverage, or continuing the coverage, of this amazing tournament. It is the August monthly final for our CSGO Championship, which we have every month. Teams can qualify. We have Saturday Cups, which you can play in. Anyone can qualify, well, assuming that you're good enough to win, and you can compete for one of those 4 spots to then be able to play one of the 4 invited teams. And if you manage to win, then you can play another one of the invited teams. But of course, today it was pretty stacked. We have a Son of Dragons with Fnatic, NiP, and Very Games. And we're about to jump into the match with Fnatic and NiP. It's like I'm forgetting stuff all over the place, but already we've played the first map because we ran into a lot of delays and we didn't want to continue the cup towards stupid o'clock. So how it actually happened was on Inferno, we had a 16-6 scoreline going to NiP. So now Fnatic, we're going to jump into the second map, and Fnatic are against the ropes already. Can they do it?
Well, I mean, an interesting side note, a piece of trivia here, is that the 2 names of the organizations, NiP and Fnatic, actually used to exist in CS 1.6. They both had teams back in 2006 and 2007. And famously, in 2006, NiP used to always beat Fnatic. But actually, the funny thing is, back then, none of these players played for those lineups except Forrest, who actually used to play for Fnatic at the time. And so he used to be on the receiving end of NiP beating them all the time. Now he's a NiP player, and now he's obviously, due to all his success, will now probably be associated with NiP quite heavily going forward. So I'm actually wondering if there'll ever be a case, if CSGO can last long enough, where people won't think of Forrest as a Fnatic player, they'll think of him as an NiP player and another player. Because actually he's already reached the point where he's played for about almost closing in on 3 years outside of Fnatic. And he played for 5 years in Fnatic. So eventually it's not ridiculous to think that there'll be a point where people won't even remember him as Fnatic Forrest, whereas he was like the face of that franchise for all those years.
And just to jump in quickly, we're just completely changing the topic to let people know, if you're a League of Legends player, we are, if you want to support FACEIT and check out our private beta, we're going into League of Legends now. So if you've ever tried any of the tournaments or any of our pickup features, we're going to start getting that rolling with League of Legends. If you want to take part in the private beta, all you have to do is go to the dashboard, press add game, and you can maybe get a chance to actually test it out. So if you are a League of Legends player, go for that, because we need all the feedback, we need all the players we can get to make this an amazing product and just grow it. And if we can grow that, we can grow CS, we can grow Quake, we can just grow everything. So more numbers is just always going to be beneficial for everyone involved. So
there are actually some famous CS players who play League of Legends. The most 2 notable are Neo and Taz, who are legendary Polish players. They actually play it quite heavily, to the extent that they've sometimes tried to hint that if they didn't like CSGO, they'd go to LoL pros, but I think that's actually very unlikely that would happen.
It's always been a very difficult thing for FPS players, because it's always been a game where it's like, or rather a situation where you don't know how long it's going to stay around or how successful it's going to be. It's not as predictable as something like, maybe StarCraft or a MOBA game. So, that's not the first I've heard of many. There's been many players who've been considering, many FPS players considering completely changing genre, and it's very, very interesting. If you built your legacy on FPS, then switching over to something which maybe has less execution but more strategy, more team play or something like that, it can be quite a hard transition to make. But
I actually know that
players have to keep that in mind if they want to be professional.
A lot of CS players also used to have played Dota 2, in fact, 1.6 players. So I know that
it's a fun game.
I think Forrest plays it. I know that some of the old mouse sports players like Gob B and Capio, etc., those sorts of players used to play it. Markelov plays it from Na'Vi. And so it's quite a popular game in MOBA games. But the reason why I'm saying a lot of these players play it is they don't play it. They actually play it where, for their job, they have to practice CS or Quake or something, That's very intensive. It's very stressful to practice. So then for fun, to relax, then they play the MOBA game, Or the Archer RTS, whatever you want to call it. They play that game to relax a bit, maybe play with some friends, some other people, just like loosen up a bit. And so that's also why I don't think many of them would switch, because the idea is they're doing that just for fun. They wouldn't want to then make that their job and go full into that, And actually, this might be an interesting piece of trivia. Tonight, I'm going to try and release my Too Good Grilled interview. And he's someone heavily into Dota, but he used to work at Fnatic as general manager one time. And I was asking him in this interview to name me some FPS players who he thinks would be amazing if they switched to MOBA. And he actually picked, the first person he picked was Forrest.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And he actually says that he thinks Forrest is the most skilled person to play any game ever. Because sure, someone like Cypher and Quake is amazing, but the difference is we've only ever seen Cypher play Quake. Whereas in theory, he says from playing with other games with Forrest, that Forrest is like not only skilled, but his skill quickly applies to new games. And it only takes him a couple of weeks and he can be amazing at that game.
And I have like the quick anecdote I think I told you before that I can tell to the viewers about Forest specifically when it comes to MOBA.
Okay.
Because I used to be in a lot of the Dota invite channels and stuff like that back in the day, where you'd have to like go into a forum, get vouched by a bunch of different players on your skill, and they have to say, you know, this player's good at this, this, that, and the other, to then get accepted into the community, so people know, okay, he's good enough that we can play with him. And I was in one of the Dota invite channels, and I saw Forest's name pop up, and back then it was the case where you pretty much knew how many games people had played, because they'd only play basically tracked games, because if you played pubs, you wouldn't learn anything. So either you played a pickup or invite, and that was all tracked by bots and so on. So I looked up Forrest's stats one time, because I saw him in this invite channel, and it's like, oh my god, this guy's only played 50 games, and he's like way better than a lot of people who played like 1,000 games. Like seriously, I'm not even exaggerating there. Like he was incredibly good, and it completely surprised me, because I'd already heard Forrest through CS, and I was like, oh my god, he's an amazing Dota player, even though he's never touched the game really. Then I'd actually seen him in RA3 as well, and he was amazing at RA3, and I'm like, is there any limit to this guy? That he's, you know, is there something that he's bad at? I don't even know.
Being Neo, that's about the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but it looks like the knife round is actually commencing between Fnatic and NiP right now, and so this is the battle of the Swedes. It's a battle of a very established team versus Fnatic, who are pretty established. But I mean, what are your gripes with? Okay, talk to me about this matchup. Huge name against
the best team
Fnatic
in the whole world.
Yeah.
Versus the team that a big organization have gambled have the potential to be one of the best teams in the world. Now, one of them's proved it over and over again. I mean, not only did they have the 87-0 streak, then I think they maybe put up like, it must have been a streak of like 20 or 30 victories. Now, I think in their history, NiP have only lost something about 8 maps or something ridiculous, 8 or 9 maps maybe. And so even when people talk about their downturn, I always think like, well, that downturn for most normal dominant teams would be like dominating still. And so really, NiP have never been proven to not be the top dog, because they only have lost rare times to like Virtus Pro lineups, which could then never prove it and solidify their top spot. So for me, they've always been number one. They're still number one. They're probably going to continue to be number one. Meanwhile, this Fnatic team is trying to prove, you know, we're top 5. We're challenging for the tournaments. We haven't just had one good event. Now we're going to get another good event.
And so let's see how this goes. We have NiP starting out on the terrace side. GetRight straight up into Cat, and the rest of his teammates just flooding into Long here. And can GetRight get anything at all there? Looks like he's just going to get straight on the site as Devilwalk and Modi. That's really interesting. They knew that there was a full-on push, and instead of trying to even defend, they just fell back away from the site into CT spawn to then later regroup in a 5-on-5 situation. That's actually really interesting.
I'm not a fan of trying to do full retakes like that. Although it looks like they were going to get the kill onto Freeveg, it looks like there.
And here we go. They're pushing up. JW, the first man up long. We have Fiftherin trying to make the defense there. Players coming up that ramp very aggressively. JW straight onto the site now with 2 headshots. He's going to be looking for the 3rd kill on the defuse. There it is. They get that kill on Freiberg, and JW safe for the defuse. So Fnatic able to take the first round, and a much needed round against the best team in the world. So NiP now. I guess they're going to make a play completely just for the plant to give them a lot of options on the following round. Maybe options to be able to do a half buy, or options to just go for another eco.
going to buy. They've got 3 AKs, it looks like here.
Yeah, they got the plant, and they're going to go for the surprise buy. Interesting. Do they have armor on those dudes? Let's see. They do actually have. They do.
I mean, interestingly, the players that have the guns, they've left Forest with just the pistol. I mean, personally, I'd take that like weapon that exists has and give it to Forest, but hey, just me. Maybe they know better than me.
And make Forest buy the armor and give him the weapon. Modi on the Cat defense here. Fiftherin moving in the upper tunnels there with his teammate, just trying to establish control here. But it looks like Cat there's going to be some action. Grenades coming up. Modi's behind the stairs, and Modi's going to gun down 1. He's going to get 2, and
never mind that.
Freiberg takes him down. So Devilwalk is now left in a position at long range. Like, okay, I just got cut off from the A-bomb site. What do I do?
But yeah, this hasn't worked out so far.
And Forest
in a 1v2.
Beautiful spray down.
Still lots of time, but his main issue is that he's trapped from both sides.
Oh yeah, and he had to jump up on that box, making the fight incredibly difficult for himself. So that buy round did not go the way of NiP. The surprise buy, a expected loss for Fnatic, as they remain pretty strong here, moving further and further into this match. And again, this is match point for NiP. They won 16-6 on the first map, Inferno, in the semi-final. And Very Games are sitting in that grand final awaiting the winner of this. Looks like we've got a lot of NiP players going for that rush out along. And Devilwalk is the man trying to put a stop there, but he's actually just going to run for it. They want to go for a more defensive positioning. Great spray down through the smoke. This is really very smart play from Fnatic. Using their advantages completely. And just gunning down everyone. Very systematic, very methodical there from Fnatic. Very well handled overall. Props to them for sure for dealing with that. And now we have the full AK buy coming in for NiP. So hopefully they're going to make a stronger round here with this. This is the first real buy from them, so let's see how it goes. NiP so far just...
Right, he's going to push right up to this long A area. He knows the guy's there, but he has to pull back.
Some good nade damage.
Meanwhile, we're going to have a push into the tunnels here. And a trade 1-for-1. The problem is, for CTs, trades aren't good, because trades mean that your defense has to be spread out more and more.
Exactly, yeah. And Forrest going to go down to Schneider, as Schneider defends the B tunnels very well there, very adeptly, as Modi is working that mid-angle, spots the players there. That gives a lot of information to Fnatic. Devilwalk, Schneider, and Modi are actually quite close together. They need to reposition, though. They're not in the best spot ever. I mean, both at CT
No, but
spawn.
the thing is, NiP is actually heading towards A, whereas that's actually the correct position at the moment, because Fnatic had been heading there, but now it looks like they're a bit more wary. So Modi's going to try and backstab from behind.
Devilwalk sneaking up with FAMAS. Can he make anything happen here? Here's the plant go down. He's going to wait for Modi to come out. There come the grenades. Here comes the retake.
And this is well coordinated, actually, except that he gets killed instantly.
Yeah, unfortunate for them. NiP
Remember,
take it down.
Fnatic have to win this map to go to a third one, otherwise NiP beats very games in the final.
And I guess that's the expected final overall.
I mean, yeah. The big question mark were mainly Astana Dragons, whether they could win or not, but otherwise they are the teams you'd expect to see. JW with an AWP.
And Fnatic definitely tend to perform better online than they do on LAN so far. So definitely a question.
JW not only misses, but goes down to 59 health after that.
Yep. JW cannot afford to miss here. And he's going to have to rotate back towards mid, leave Flusher alone in the B bomb site.
Get right, still just camping that last spot.
And Forrest and Freiburg moved quite far up cat. I'm not sure if Fnatic are aware.
Smoke disappears, Get right or Devil Walk.
Oh my god, Forrest. Straight in on the bomb site. There's one left at Graffiti though. It's going to be Schneider catching one in the back. Forrest goes down. Freiburg gets the trade though. Very important to get that trade. And JW stuck at CT spawn, and my god.
Still at long A. See, that's the problem. Is Get Right is easily, I think he's the best player in the world by far anyway, but he's also easily the best at that role, like lurking around, backstabbing, holding a guy in position. He's like the master of timing in that. And see, things are switching over to the NiP side now. And with those AWPs, Fnatic now completely broke.
Yeah, it's not even funny. And they got picked apart that round. Absolutely picked apart. JW completely, almost embarrassed
going to
with
run
his
right past the
AWP.
guy who just shoots him in the back of the head with a USB or something.
Is this coming in with the trade though? And they're making their way back onto the A-bomb site. And it's, again, pretty easy for them. But of course, they're facing off against the ecoing CTs. So, to be expected.
Now, Flusher gets to a gun though. He got an AK.
And Schneider and Flusher probably looking for the exit frags. Or, I mean, there's not much they can do. Best case scenario, get a kill, get an exit kill, get a gun, keep it alive. That's, you know, that, and you know, the economic damage.
The trick here would
done.
actually be to use Schneider to like bait someone out, and then you shoot them while they're shooting him.
And that's more or less what happened there. And GetRight going to spam down, and Exist finally with the flank, going to take him down. So control situation there, not letting Fnatic keep anything alive at all. 3-3 the score as NiP tie things up. AWP for JW again. What can he do with it? It's very instrumental. He's going to go for the pick onto Suicide there, but nothing there. Just spamming through the smoke with the AWP for a few shots before backing away. And
look at that push
wow.
up. What a great position. He's done this twice now. He did it on the eco as well and got the kill, and then he took a totally different position, and it really worked out. Now, with the fact that Exist is so low on health, this is a really favorable 4v3 for Fnatic. They just have to not get too cocky. Well, there we go. They're in great position. They're going to win this round, it looks like.
This is really important as well, because Fnatic were really stretched for money. I mean, JW bought an AWP with no armor. He's got no armor at all. No armor, no nades, just the AWP. That's all he's got. And Forest and Exist are going to try to make their final play onto A. And, you know, they can do this. I mean, they're 2 versus 4.
There's
but
a
the
lot
thing
of time and they have the bomb, but they need to just headshot everyone pretty much from the position they're in.
If they get quick kills, then they're going to be able to get positioning as well. So it could work. There it is.
The fact they haven't got a kill so far means that, well, they've got one here. But it's going to be hard to cross as long as that guy stays in the site.
And Forrest is jumping across.
Yep.
Going to find the player on the site. Modi with the defense, though. Exist sprays him down, but with 13 points of health left, he's going to go for it, but it's going to be a miracle for him to pull this one off. Trying for the tap, switches to the Glock. Not going to happen. And he will go down. So very, very important round for Fnatic to win. Again, they were incredibly stretched money-wise. Had they lost that round, they would have been flat broke. And Devilwalk even with a FAMAS still. So, NiP, what should they do now? That's the question. And JW going to be on that A long house with his AWP. I mean, that's really the thing. Which area is the AWP going to be covering from? That's can be quite unpredictable. We saw Shox really showing some amazing work by constantly changing his position, whether it be mid, short, long, always keeping it real, keeping it fresh. And GetRight might push through the smoke there on A longhouse as the rest of his team gathers around the mid. Maybe if he can get a quick pick there, that could be crucial. GetRight going to fall back though.
Back out, though.
They're going to drop the bomb on Cat, the first 2 players, and
see, they're setting up for this Cat attack.
Yeah, but they're waiting for something. They're waiting still. So patient are the NiP players. Maybe they'll initiate it around the 45-second mark. That tends to be somewhat of a trend, and here it goes. They're making the entry to the site. The entry kill from Forest wasn't so clean. 5 health left on him.
No, there's one at Leap Crew. That's the problem at the moment.
And Forest goes down.
Angles.
But they're in. They're more or less in on the side. There's one left at Graffiti, and there's Fifarin going to gun him down. But Fifarin and GetRight, the last 2 players left standing, but GetRight going to make it happen there. GetRight always hanging around, always the kind of the flanking player, the guy who's just always chilling around the back.
It's also because he's one of the best at winning clutch rounds of star players, so he wants to put himself in that scenario as much as he can. And what you've seen here is the way NiP have been able to get these rounds is by playing a really slow game. They don't want to play really fast and give Fnatic players the chance to just kill them by just out-shooting them. They want to play very tactically here.
Oh wow, getting a frag with the grenade.
Complete decimation at the moment. Obviously.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous. The eco run getting completely obliterated. Perfect prediction there coming in from NiP, as it is just Flusher left with the James Bond silenced USP. And he
sadly, unlike the game GoldenEye, he can't screen watch and know when they're coming around.
Yeah, exactly. And he can't play Oddjob either.
And he's not the man with the golden gun.
No. Oddjob, god damn it. Why would people play him? Anyway, so 2 players are going to go down to the side as well. Devilwalk is there to smoke up mid, and
so they've got a full push on the long A at the moment. We just GetRight on his own at Cat.
Yeah, I mean they smoked up mid to try to basically make it so that NiP didn't know where if there was going to be an eco rush somewhere or not, and they did commit to A long, and now it's just Devilwalk and Flusher left alive. Getting 1 kill onto Forest, but it's kind of inconsequential here as Flusher is left, as a last man standing, can't pick up the weapon. I mean, the economic damage is just minimal. So NiP is kind of steamrolling right now, but of course they wait eco rounds. JW picks up an AWP again. Can he be the AWPer extraordinaire that he's been dubbed before previously, especially on this map? And here he goes. He's going to go for the jump across. He's going to go for a pick onto Suicide, onto that T-spawn. Doesn't find anything. And he does give away, though, that he's brandishing that AWP. So Forest might get a little bit aggressive, maybe on the double doors, but it actually seems like the action's going on at A long here as 3 players from NiP are going to be moving their way forwards. They do get the pick onto Schneider. Devilwalk's left in the pit, though. Can they take him down?
Hasn't seen him. He's right behind him.
Oh my god, Devilwalk just runs away. Oh my god.
But eventually he does go down.
What was that? That was just
I think everyone was just blind there.
Just confusion.
And JW is in a really bad position if they actually do rush up from long.
Yeah, this is a really bad... He needs to get boosted up or something, or he's going to boost his teammate up. Oh no, there he is. He's going to get boosted up. And
what a time to get boosted up, though.
Oh, he does get an insane shot through the smoke.
They're going to do it again.
Exist.
Here we go.
He gets Freiburg as well. JW coming out huge with a team play there from Flusher, just giving him the boost that he needs.
And he's going to get this guy mid if he stays still.
Here he goes. Oh, he misses the shot. JW and Flusher are just this insane combination right now.
I think he actually hit Forest there through the wall.
Yeah, he may well have done. 18 health left for Forest, and it's all down to Flusher. Can Flusher be anything without his friend JW to be there with the AWP?
Unbeknownst to him, they're actually low health, so
yeah, he could do this.
It's quite doable.
This could be the play of the tournament between JW and Flusher.
He has no kit, obviously.
And he hears Get Right coming in from behind.
So get this kill then.
Oh, and he spots him, and oh my god, the spray, that was it.
Now he has 7 health. One bullet and he's dead.
My god.
Yeah, this is getting unwinnable now.
Oh, unfortunate. That
amazing stuff by JW.
Yeah.
Those were 2 ridiculous shots where if you miss either, you probably die instantly.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now Fnatic basically forced to eco, I think.
So unfortunate that they weren't able to catch that
NiP is running away with this. Oh no, it looks like they're going to force buy one guy. So Devilbork bought. Did anyone else? No, it doesn't look like it.
And they're going to push long. Aggressive on long.
And NiP at the moment steamrolling this map 7-4 T side.
And the A long house is controlled. It is Get Right's home right now. So can they remove Get Right? Can they evict him from his home? I don't know if they can do that. Oh my god, Get Right just edging through the smoke, getting a headshot straight away onto Devilbork, who had the gun.
There's a guy to his left? I don't think he does.
Get Right's going to get all of them, surely.
He's going to get shot in the back.
Oh man, there it is. But Get Right already did enough. He already just, by himself,
Especially as they weren't going to that area anyway.
By himself, just dismantled their entire game plan for that round. By himself, so...
Yeah, I believe he was by himself when he did that.
And Schneider is just in pit now. He's got a gun, but, I mean, no armor, nothing really to do with this. 4 players left alive. Maybe he can get a kill, but he then has to run all the way up to the site, and there's just no chance. There is the grenade. Nice little header onto the grenade there. And 8-4, NiP starting to actually just steamroll them, as you said. They're starting to pick up the momentum massively. JW once again with an AWP, but Schneider as well. So I think this is the first time we've seen a double AWP setup coming in from Fnatic. Are they able to actually do something with it, though? And JW...
And Devilbork has a shotgun, by the way.
Looks like they may come in somewhat quickly onto the B.
Yeah, look how decimated JW and Flusher already are. This is before they've even got to really see anyone.
And they've kind of posturing massively towards B right now, or NiP. And JW and Flusher are actually kind of in position, but they don't really know what's going on. And NiP, and they'd be right to be thinking that NiP might be doing something different, because they are actually going back to mid and taking the bomb all the way with themselves there. And Get Right still on A long house. Wow. Great kill coming in onto Freiburg. Modi defending the cat. And now NiP have to be thinking a bit differently about this round. I mean, they can still choose to go for B if they want. Modi's going to go aggressively on cat.
They're going to go B later in the round.
This could be it. They see that Modi's there now. So if they can kill Modi, that opens up A. If they can't kill Modi, then he's really the stop, the kind of door stopper, if you will. And they won't be able to push through it if they can't take him down straight away. But it's like, are they going to go through long, it seems? They're running out of time, though. There's 35 seconds.
With the time on the clock, they basically have to do a push onto long. And it looks like Forest just wants to backstab.
And he might be able to do it, but no, Modi's going to take him down, and it's all... There's 25 seconds left on the clock. Yeah, they have to just go for it. They have to run
non-stop at this point. They've waited too long, basically. They haven't kept the track of the clock, I think.
And they go Fiffler and gets a kill onto Schneider.
It's now a mad rush up the site.
Just picks up the AWP straight, just sprinting, picks up the AWP.
Get Right's playing a little bit too defensively. They haven't looked at the time enough. No, he's going to go back now and save.
Yeah, and unfortunately he won't be able to do anything. But like I mean, NiP there...
With the amount of rounds they'd won and the money they had, they needed to just rush and get that there. They played a little bit too defensively there.
Yeah, I mean, indecision, really. Indecision kind of cost them. And I guess you could say that I haven't seen really that situation a lot from NiP, but I could imagine that maybe they get into situations like that often. Maybe if they don't have strong calling, if they leave their players to their own devices too much.
JW is going to try an AWP long here, but I believe the man already got out.
Appears, yeah, Get Right is actually behind the boxes there on long.
And this one's kind of a must-win for Fnatic here, money-wise.
So can they do it? Forest playing coyly with the double doors there on mid.
And Fnatic have their double AWP set up.
They smoked off CT spawn. That is often indicative of a B split. And Devilbork and Schneider are actually there to defend. Forest is going to come out solo. And it's just Existence Grenade's going to take down Schneider there. So they have a lot of options still, but Modi and JW are pushed aggressively up Cat, so that could be really, really troubling.
I mean, at the moment, both teams seem perfectly content to just trade at the double doors. They both want to try and kill the entire other team at the double doors.
Oh my god, Exist could find a head there, but no, just not in time. And he does have the bomb. Looks like they're going to commit to B.
Push into B now, which is actually the right read. And remember, Fnatic have an AWPer stuck over at the other side.
It's really interesting because GetRight's on A now. GetRight's giving them loads of information. He's like, guys, they all have to be around B because A is like completely open here. And they smoke the double doors, and GetRight's going to try to help from CT spawn, but Fiflerin straight in the site. Beautiful kills picked up there from all the NiP players. Forest's going to have to defend from the tunnels, and looks like it's just down to Modi. Modi versus Forest on 14 health and Fiflerin. They have the bomb. They've got 15 seconds. Forest will plant that, which is it's a good decision to give him the bomb as he's the lowest health player.
Basically, because of the number of rounds that are remaining.
Here he goes, straight for the double doors. He's going to find the players. He knows where they are, spraying for his life, but Fiflerin is going to be the one that takes his life from him with the AK-47. So now 9-5, 1 round left in this, and NiP are looking at just getting a 10-5 on the T side, so that's very strong.
Yeah, and we've got Devil Walk with the shotgun again.
So JW aggressively pushing up Shoxy style, up mid, but with the Mag 7, which is quite common of JW to go for plays like this, but not even able to get a frag annihilated. It does get Fiflerin down to 18 points of health, but it's not going to amount to much. But here comes the rush. Smoke on the crossing. Safe passage is assured thanks to the smoke there, and the bomb does get up onto the site. So this is going to be it, though. This is going to be the half for NiP. I do not see Devil Walk clutching this away. So great play there from NiP. NiP showing why they're considered the best.
I mean,
they are
NiP looked like they were pretty much on cruise control there. They just steamrolled them every time they needed to. Fnatic won the odd round here and there, but after the initial point of the game where Fnatic had the early lead, it didn't really matter beyond that.
Yeah, certainly. And so that's the first half, guys. And this is match point for NiP, remember. I always said Fnatic.
Match point, yeah.
Yeah, and 16-6 was the score on Inferno. NiP just dominating their opponent, their Swedish opponents, Fnatic there. So Fnatic have to pull out an insane comeback here. And Pistol Round is a great place to start. But they do take down one player on long there. So Freiburg going down straight away. So that's really good stuff. And right here, GetRight going to pick off Flusher. So a 3-on-4 situation.
The upper side, the A side.
Yeah. So GetRight just spamming that James Bond weapon, science USP, pew pew in the distance there. Schneider does get the Julies onto Fiflerin. So can GetRight and Forest and Exist pull this off? Just Devil Walk there, and they do. Brilliant headshot there. My God, what a retake. That was Fnatic's round.
Well, that's something that's always been an advantage for NiP as well. They collectively in their team, they might be one of the best teams in the whole world at pistol rounds. They have like GetRight and Forest especially are unreal with the pistols, and like some of the others also can be quite good. So I think that's always been a strength of theirs. And obviously this puts Fnatic in a really bad situation.
Yeah.
Because before you know it, the whole series is going to be breathing down their neck.
No kidding. And of course, you know, we have DreamHack Bucharest coming up, and NiP looking strong, moving into that land this weekend. So mark that on your calendars.
And remember, NiP have never placed below the semi-finals of any tournament ever in history. Offline, that is.
Here comes the defense with that P90. Beautiful play there, just gunning the players down. There's nothing they can do. Schneider, can he get one through the doors? Nope. And there is GetRight to finish things off. Or GetRight. Oh my God, he does get Exist while shooting at GetRight.
Appalling.
Yeah. Well, just holding it down, locking it down with a P90. That is...
Okay, force buy here from the Fnatic guys.
Not too terrible, but the Freiburg with the FAMAS. So sometimes on the forced buy rounds, you want them to get a bit creative. And already Forest taking a lot of damage through the doors there. So that's a good start. That's,
you know, 3 long the ledge where NiP, they're playing no one middle. Modi, even in 1.6, always like to push up this area, catwalk.
Yeah, here we go. He's going to push up, get the information for his team. GetRight's going to cycle back around there, though.
One guy there.
And Freiburg getting one onto Devil Walk, but the trade is there. Geralt trying to use the accuracy of the M4A1 silencer as best as he can. He's got a teammate, Exist, now to help him out with Fiffler and over at the B site. But the bomb is actually in mid with JW still, so JW needs to get that bomb all the way over to A. He's going to get flanked now. If the bomb gets dropped here in this 3-on-3 situation, that's going to be incredibly bad. And they do just clean up Modi. So Fnatic just getting caught with their pants around their ankles here as JW, with 7 points of health, awaits his demise. But do they find him in time? Looks like they will. And there goes the bomb. And Schneider's the last man left standing, and that's going to be the round for NiP. That is really bad. Really, really, really bad.
Absolute dire straits for Fnatic.
Yeah. This is not fun for Fnatic. Not fun at all. And
they're basically going to just save out and then hope for a miracle.
There we go. Here comes some pre-nading into the longhouse. Great read there because they're actually going for an A split, but unluckily for them, it's well, actually they're not going to put any players through to long. It's going to be a lot of Fnatic players up mid.
There's a cold. And they managed to get it safely and take it back as well.
Yeah, doubling back. What will they use it for, though? Are they going to go for B, go for A? Exist is playing a little aggressively on Cat, so he might find someone soon. But the smoke is obscuring his vision somewhat, but there it goes.
Get Right wants to push in. And he
there
will.
Goes Get Right. Finds one with the M4A1. And there's a second one, but he won't be able to take him down, but Exist is there. They always have decent cover and good map awareness to be positioned around each other to support. Like, you never really see, it's usually only Get Right you see on, like, for example, T side, really by himself.
Fnatic are going to go for Rook here. JW is going to go for the AWP again. Flush is going to go for an AWP again. So if they go out, they're going to just go out the way they were playing the whole game.
And no quick picks through the doors. They see two move over, though. And Flusher, beautiful there. He did the quick peek on long and did get the frag on Freiburg. So that's really, really important. Great stuff there. But the problem is that they do have two AWPs, and Flusher's on 3 health now. And the AWPs mean that they're not so mobile, so when they do get a pick, it's not quite as easy to go, oh, guys, we'll just rush here now, because the AWPs make you slow, not as mobile. But Schneider's going to try to make his way up to A with JW, nevertheless. And JW's great at peeking the corners around A, but Get Right...
Remember that the bomb is over towards B as well, so...
And Get Right with a great flank action there, but Modi's going to try to get his way around there. But Fifrin's rotating quick. Yeah, he might find the bomber.
Really on not on the side of Fnatic right now.
And, oh, there goes down the bomb, and that just signals to NiP.
Yeah, NiP just know exactly where everything is, and they can just swarm now.
But JW, I mean, he could be absolutely clutch. It's just a 1-on-2 with an AWP. It's Dust 2. So there are a lot of angles and open spaces for him to be able to use this.
He's running a bit out of time, though.
Yeah, 35 seconds on the clock. I'm sure his teammates are calling time in the comms. JW, and this is so difficult, this position. Oh my God.
He's actually going to get a 1v1 at first. So this is, if he shoots him, then he gets to plant the bomb. But his problem is the longer he... no, actually, because the other player's going to try and flank up mid, thinking it might be A.
Oh, the pre-fire. And it was great from Fifrin to be playing close like he was instead of playing at a distance, looking at the angles. Because I guess they were aware that JW had an AWP, so playing the close angles is going to be a better... put JW to a harder shot, and he's going to get less chance there. So NiP 15-5 now. It's match point for them. They won 16-6 on Inferno, and they're looking at making it a 16-5 potentially. But here comes a fast push onto B. Fifrin goes for the spray down with the M4A4, and here it is. Gets loads of players. JW comes through, but the support
really
from
terrible
Forest.
There. One kill and 3 of them died, and everyone's calling good game already. As a 4v1 for Schneider here, and the bomb is literally in B, and he's at long A right now.
So yeah, they're calling GG already, and Schneider's just going to creep up long, and there's not much he can do. This means, though, that we will have a final that looks to be Fnatic. Why do I keep saying Fnatic in place of NiP? I will never understand, but NiP versus Very Games, the expected final, and 2 incredibly good teams. And Very Games, I don't know if they're going to be able to do something against Fnatic's form, because they're looking really... I just did it again.
Very Games versus NiP?
So you just have to replace every time I say Fnatic with NiP in your brains. I'll just train people to do it. So, one of those mind tricks. But NiP, they look incredible, as always. And Very Games, though, they were looking individually very good, but it's going to be pretty hard. NiP are going to be the favorites going into that one, and I don't know really how to call it. Do you have anything you want to say? Because we've seen the form of both teams now in this tournament.
I think both teams have played well in all the games we've seen, so now it's just the classic matchup. Let's play it again.
to me, there was no real standout for NiP. And on Very Games side, I was really looking and liking Shoxy. He was doing a lot of crazy stuff. So if we can keep seeing that from Shoxy, if he can keep catching players off guard, maybe they can do it, but we'll find out. So we'll first take a quick break, and we come back. We'll be there with the finals. NiP versus Very